Hey, so what could be the Python project for you that will land you a job? So this topic is very interesting, and I am going to make not a very long video, very brief, hardly 10 to 15 minutes video, where I will list down the main points, or I will highlight the factors which will decide whether somebody will get a job or not. So what are those factors? What are the things? What are the things which matters when any company or any individual is willing to offer you a job? What they look into your profile and into you. Okay. So no topic will be the session will be around Python only. So I'm not going to go into detail why Python is popular, not like that. If you're interested in Python and if you're looking for a job, what should you do to get a job? That is as simple as that. So, so basically, so what do what do I see in like when students are doing some projects and some work, and they I have seen like lot of resume and let's say this is my portfolio, and then so like typical what is the things which I see? Okay, so in a general scenario, I'll say generally, what happens? What do people say? Okay, sir, I've done Flask application, I have done Django. Okay, fine, but what you have done? They also said I would have done to-do list, or I have made some e-commerce sites, something like that. So this is the common thing which I see when I visit the profile of when I go through the profile of the freshers and people who are learning Python for the first time. So they think that okay, making a to-do list and e-commerce sites is good enough to get a job, and yeah. But if you think from a company's perspective, what does a company is looking for you? First of all, okay, company is expecting you to have a level, at least, uh, at least a real world experience. So what do you mean by real world? So in real world, nobody is going to uh, use a to-do list, okay, except some people. Okay, that's why not companies not hiring you to build a to-do list. Company is also not hiring you to make a very simple kind of e-commerce website, because anyway those templates are available in WordPress and Shopify. There's a lot of frameworks available. So why any company will hire you to make a simple website of e-commerce? Okay. First of all, these things when you go in real world scenario, this goes in very like it goes into very in detail things, and it takes a lot of time to make this kind of like website. This is not a simple thing. Okay, but I've seen the people like making a simple thing. Okay, add order and track order, and okay, those things, see the price of the list, and those things are not good enough to highlight whether you have done a real world thing. So first of all, this is the problem. What is the problem? You're doing very simple things. Okay, now it will not be, I am not saying it will be simple for you in the starting, but from company point of view, this is a simple and easy task. Okay, company will not value based on this thing. To be very honest, company has a like they want a real world thing. So what is a real world thing? When I say real world applications, so what do you mean? I mean by real world applications. So let's suppose you are a student. Okay, you're a student in some college. So if you're a student in some college, okay, or school, let's suppose you're a student in college. Okay, then if I ask you a simple question, that what kind of apps you would like to make? You like to make, which people also like, which like people around you like it, and it sells also. Like if you want to sell it to a person, okay, this is my software, this is my app I am building, and would you like to buy this thing? Then they should be interested. For example, let's suppose you're building some software, some application which will benefit your school or your college or some people who are running a business. Okay, then that is the real world app, which is really used in the real world. If it is not used by anybody of, that is not a real world thing. Okay, so first understand what you mean by real world. So real world, like let's suppose I come to you, I'm selling you something. This is my software. Unless and until it is good for you, it is useful to you. Nobody is going to buy it. I will not even take a trial also if it doesn't look good. It's very simple thing. It's not very like you don't have to apply any like don't have to think too much hard for this thing. Just think basic softwares. What are the basic softwares which you see around you? I can say the basic software. What do you see around you? You see, let's suppose attendance systems you see in colleges, correct? Colleges maintaining attendance systems. Then they are maintaining one more thing is nowadays online, let's suppose quiz applications, okay, for, or we can say online test applications, like we are setting some test and the students are giving them. This is one of the things. Then what things you can see? Then simple things. Let's suppose any college professor or a school professor takes a leave, they want to apply for a leave. Leave will go to their HOD or principal, they want to approve. How this process will happen? Okay, so you can say leave management system. This sounds very simple, but this is not simple. If you start making this thing, this will go on and become complex. Now let me take an example of, let's suppose, leave management. It's sounds very simple, but it's not so simple. So let's suppose you want to make a real world application on leave management. You know? So what are the things you will need? First of all, who will apply the leave? First of all, anybody can apply the leave. So let's suppose the teacher is applying for leave. Teacher, I would say, I say professor. Okay, so professor is applying for a leave. It may happen the lab technician can also apply for leave. Well, why not? Non technical people can also apply for a leave. Let's suppose peon will apply for a leave. Okay. Now, okay, peon may not be the right use case because they are not technically that much what is proficient to open a mobile app, apply the leave. So let's not go into that much. Let's suppose take a simple thing: professor, lab technician, HOD, okay, and then let's suppose final principal. Now, basically, just think like that. There is a hierarchy. Okay, what do I mean by hierarchy? For example, if professor will apply for a leave, then that leave will be approved by the HOD, correct? Because HOD is taking care of that thing. But when HOD will apply for a leave, then all the HOD is reporting to principal. Okay, so you have to make a software which will take care of this thing. Like this hierarchy will be there. You know? Professor will not apply the leave directly to the principal. Neither principal has the time to apply, and that is not his job. Okay, his job is to take a talk with the HODs, and then that's it. Okay, so this is one of, so this is a real world scenario. So now think of how we'll make an app which will take care of this thing, maintain the hierarchy, and then principal can either approve the leave, he can reject the leave. Okay, so this looks very simple, but when you will make it, it will not be simple. I can guarantee you this thing. But the thing is that we don't think of real world. Okay, that okay. What are the use cases? How this leave will apply? Okay, how the people will like log in into the system? Because first of all, everybody has to log in into the system. So you have to make login, sign up, all these things. Correct? Registration. So how we are going to make this thing? First of all, this is one part. Then after this thing, then you have to think of, okay, who is a professor, who is a HOD, like how this process will happen. That okay, who is a professor, who is a HOD, who will decide that thing. Like let's suppose I sign up on a platform and say, okay, I am a professor. Will you accept it that he is a professor, or you will have some validation? Okay, yeah, this is a professor or not. How do we do that thing? So it looks very simple, but in the real world, when you will go, you will make your software app, and when you will go to the demo, okay, suppose you're making an app, go and demo it. Okay, demo, or just give a demo to your HODs, your professor, whatever available in your college, and see what they are saying. They will give you suggestions, okay, what is missing, and that is a real world app. So it's small thing, but you make a proper thing, then it's real world. Otherwise there's no value of you're making something. Okay, so you are saying, okay, I know Python, I know basic of Flask. Django is not useful, and especially from job perspective, if you're looking to say that, okay sir, please provide me a job because I'm capable of building apps in Python. So are you really capable of building apps in Python? First, you should ask this question to yourself. Okay, so this is just one of the similarly, uh, I can give you the online test scenario. So let's suppose somebody's you have to make an online test software. Okay, it's also not easy. Now, if you make an online test software, first of all, how the student is going to register, correct? Then how the teacher is going to register on this app, first of all, how they are going to register, who is, let's suppose teacher will, let's suppose you in your in one section we have 60 students, who are going to fill the details of those people through what will through. So this is a you making a website, but how this will work, first of all. Then second thing is that, let's suppose uh, who will set the test? Obviously student will not set a test, teacher will only test the set. Let's suppose teacher wants to set a test that class, let's suppose I will say for a school scenario, I will take a school scenario that 9A, or is it take a college scenario, let's suppose 11A. Okay, 11A, this is a class and section. Okay, now teacher this is a class. Okay, now teacher wants to set a test for this class at, let's suppose, 1 p.m. Okay, now how the teacher can set a test to only start at 1 p.m. and no student can start this test before 1 p.m. How that you will manage that thing? Then one thing. Second will be that how the timer will work, because your test should only be, let's suppose this, it is of 30 minutes. Now this also can be dependent on the teacher. Teacher wants to set for 30 minutes, it will be 30 minutes. Teacher wants to set for 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes. So how we will allow a teacher to set up like a timer, or we can say, okay, this is the duration of the test, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 15 minutes. How we will do that thing? First of all, these things. Then the questions and answers. The questions can be subjective, it can be objective. However, let's suppose we'll make simple right now. Don't go too complex. Subjective question, objective, A, B, C, D. Okay, how you're going to make A, B, C, D, how you're going to store the answers, how it will be displayed to teacher, how this answers will be evaluated. This is right or wrong. Okay, these things. And apart from this thing, let's suppose I am at question number 5. Okay, then I go back 5 6. Let's suppose I go to last question. Let's suppose 30 questions we have. Now let's suppose from 30 questions you again go on to go back to 5 question number and check what was I answered there, and I want to change it. How will that will happen in front end? And this is a real time, real world scenarios. So when you are able to do these kind of things, then you say, okay, I am making a real world thing. First of all, okay, you, if let's suppose you want to go more real world, more advanced. Now this thing, you are making a software which does the same thing. Now multiple school or multiple colleges can use your software. Okay, let's suppose you want to sell this software to multiple colleges. Then how are you going to give the login credentials and all those things to multiple? Like how you make, how you design this thing, Python application, that it doesn't work only for one school but multiple colleges. Any college can use this software. How are you going to make? Let's suppose you a college you are selling this to one software, one college. Another college also says, okay, yeah, please give me this software. I also want to use. How we are going to give them this thing? So when you say you're a Python developer, you know something, you have done some application, and then you're complaining that I'm not getting a job. First, you have to look into yourself that what is lacking, what company is looking for, and what. So this is an advanced scenario. Multiple colleges. This is known as a so just search software as a service. This is a very popular model where you can just search about what is software as a service. I'm not going to talk about this thing. So uh, yeah, but if you go to this level, there is no company which will not give you a job. So first of all, start with simple things. Make some simple softwares. Again, try to make a different softwares. Don't stuck in one software. Sorry, one application. Design at least two, three applications. Okay, or if you want to design only one properly, that is also fine. If you want to design this properly, take 5 6 months time. Design it, no issues. If you want to design this thing, take 3 4 months time, 6 months time, no issues. If you want to be small, make. So what I'm trying to go in depth, that is real world. Make complex things. Think about the real world factors which you will not understand when you will give the demo. Then this people will say, okay, this is not working, we need that thing. Why not this thing? So this is just I'm giving, next time I'll give you more, like in some of the videos I will give you more concrete live examples what is the real world app. But yeah, just I'm giving you overview that when you say you have done project, don't say I have made a to-do list. Everybody is posting that same thing in the resume. It doesn't interest anybody. Okay, so what if you really want to stand out of the crowd and get a job? Unless and until you stand out of the crowd, you will not get a job, or you will not get a good job. If you want to get a good job and you're thinking to start your career, then you have to like deliver what is needed. So please just go back and think, okay, what could be the software? I'm just giving my suggestion. You can think of your whatever what you want to make. You want to make a Instagram type site, you can make it. But just think who is going to like it, who is going to use it. Okay, just think like this thing. Now, this is very important, and this doesn't. It looks simple, but it's not so simple because let's suppose this thing. A person is logging as a professor. He should only able to view the leave applied by his. Sorry, a person logging by as a HOD. He should be able to see the leave applied by his department. Like suppose he is working chemistry department, physics department, maths department. How are you going to maintain the departments? Okay, department can change today, tomorrow. How you're going to add and modify departments? These things look simple. This is not simple. Okay, when you will make it, when you will demo it to the any college, okay, I'm giving it for free. Just say I'm giving you for free, and then see what they will say. Okay, is anybody even interested in software for free also, free of cost? That will decide whether you have made a good app or not, that or real world app or not. Otherwise, you can make projects for as a demo project or as a like for practice. That is a different thing. But if you really want to get a job, okay, simple thing is make projects which works in real world. Simple. You can get job other way also, okay, by practicing Python and basic projects and all those things. But if you really want to make your life simple, focus on one thing. Make good projects which the company is looking for people. So if people have, if one person can make this thing single-handedly, company will not, like, they will ask the question around it, how you have designed this thing, how you tackle this thing. They will ask you all real. You don't have to put a fake project in your resume, because you make a real world project. Okay, it will take you time, but then you will get the results also. So okay, it's already time. I'm out of time now. So yeah, but I hope this will clear your. This will give you some clarity, or I guess it will give you more a direction where to lead. So my thing is that if you're looking for Python, it doesn't matter you make on Django and Flask. That is secondary. Main thing is that have you made it real world thing or not, handle complex things or not, have you done validations or not. Well, a lot of things are there. Okay, so is your security handled in your software or not? Okay, can somebody can hack your projects or not? A lot of things goes into real world security. How do you have to think of security? Okay, how are you going to store the password? For example, if you sign up, how are you going to store the password in database? Just search this thing on internet. How does it work? How do you store the password in DB? You get the answer. So small things you will not know because you are starting first time. But when you will make it and you will show the demo, then you will know. So with this thing, I'll end this video. I hope you will get some good information. And see you next time. Thank you.